Donald Trump shows that it's not just his drawings that are works of art. His ability to completely deny reality is also quite the masterpiece. This is just another day. Just yesterday, we finally got a glimpse of Jeffrey Epstein's infamous birthday book that contained over 200 pages of notes and messages. But of course, the liberal media had to focus on the one drawing from one president of the United States.
The House committee investigating the Jeffrey Epstein case releasing a trove of documents yesterday. That includes an explicit drawing and note signed Donald, allegedly sent to Epstein more than 2 decades ago as part of a so-called birthday book to celebrate Epstein's 50th birthday back in 2003. The message ends stating, quote, "A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret."
Now that wonderful secret could really refer to anything. Don't forget, this birthday book was given to Epstein in 2003, back when people were still talking about that wild twist at the end of The Sixth Sense, which came out 4 years before that. So that's probably what Trump was talking about. But this is why the field of journalism exists, to rigorously seek out the truth, to separate fact from fiction, to sit down with trusted sources and then verify those claims.
The news story today is that the stupid drawing, that your dad allegedly gave to Epstein, and you and I actually were sitting around joking about this a while back when it first came out. We were like, this is the most absurd stuff in the world. But Mike Johnson is like walking back. Last week he said, he was an FBI asset in the whole prosecution of this. Then he tried to walk it back. So this is like the dumbest thing in the world.
Yes, it all goes back to the essentials of reporting and those 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, and why is this like the dumbest story in the world? But maybe there's a perfectly reasonable explanation that I'm missing.
I can tell you my father does not sketch out cartoon drawings.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure we can take Eric's word for what his father does and doesn't do. I can tell you that my father does not sketch cartoons, he does not offer praise when you've done a phenomenal job for his business, and he does not frame you properly in the family Christmas card, even though it was your idea to have the trees bookending the whole photo. By the way, fun little fact about this birthday book, it was compiled by Ghislaine Maxwell, which means she didn't compile just underage women for her boyfriend to rape, she also compiled birthday messages. And you know what Trump says, get yourself a girl who does both. And then float the idea of pardoning her.
Well, I'm allowed to give her a pardon.
What a guy. But the big question floating around this birthday message from Trump is, did he actually write it? Was this his signature? I mean, sure, he's hung out with him at Mar-a-Lago, danced with him at parties, and flew with him on his plane multiple times, but are we really to believe that Trump would take the extraordinary step of writing him a letter?
There's a lot of examples of the president from that same era of when this birthday book was compiled, signing his name in a similar style, like this 1996 letter to then New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, or this 1995 letter to a member of a local Palm Beach commission. There's also that 1999 letter to the legendary CNN host Larry King that you see here, and a 1984 letter to the executive editor of the New York Times.
Okay, sure. Each one of those signatures looks exactly like Trump's. But what does that even prove? I mean, you at least have to give him credit for signing his name and not pulling a Jason Statham where you just throw back a few whiskeys, shove a Sharpie up your nostril, and let the gods do their work. Isn't there some way to authenticate the signature?
Would the White House support a professional handwriting expert review of the document released yesterday to prove that it's not the president's signature?
Sure, we would support that.
Of course they would. This White House always defers to the experts, as long as it's their experts. Maybe if we're lucky, it'll be the same economic experts who say Trump's tariffs aren't wrecking our economy, the same science experts who claim climate change isn't real, and the same health experts who think that a measles outbreak in 2025 is totally par for the course. I truly don't know how any sane individual could deny that what we're looking at is Trump's signature.
Mr. Speaker, do you think the Trump birthday note to Epstein is real?
I don't. They say it's not.
From what I see, it's not his signature. I've seen Donald Trump sign a million things.
This doesn't look like his signature to you?
Nope.
I mean, anybody can do a signature. We've seen the auto pen's been used quite a bit with the Biden administration. So I've never known Trump to be much of an artist either.
So you're just going to take the president at his word that this is not it?
What does it have to do with anything?
I mean, besides being another piece of evidence that Donald Trump not only knew exactly who Jeffrey Epstein was and what he was all about, that he found all of Epstein's abuse of underage women comical enough that he'd nod to it through a lewd drawing, and that is simply one more example of a leader of an entire political party who has been shown over the course of decades that he sees women as inferior and undeserving of his respect. But you're right. Besides that, it doesn't really have to do with anything. Is the White House really going so far as to say that all of this overwhelming proof is a complete farce?
You said the Epstein documents are a hoax that Democrats are perpetrating against the president. You've said he didn't sign that check, that he didn't sign the birthday card that he allegedly signed. So what is the theory, since these documents came from the Epstein estate? Who is I guess in your view, faking these documents?
I did not say the documents are a hoax. I said the entire narrative surrounding Jeffrey Epstein right now that is absorbing many of the liberal cable channels on television is a hoax.
Damn, that is some new agey philosophy right there. The documents might be real, but it's the narrative that's fake, man. You gotta stop focusing on the words and drawings and irrefutable evidence that Trump knew all about his criminal behavior and start focusing on the vibrations in the universe. By the way, to Levitt's criticism of the Democrats, it doesn't matter whether or not they're being opportunistic here. What matters is that they followed the evidence to uncover Trump's complicity with a notorious pedophile. You don't lose points because they weren't well-meaning enough for you. You know, in some ways, you really have to appreciate how far we've come. In the old days, this incriminating discovery would have been handled by Trump quite differently. And by old days, I mean these old days.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab him by the pussy. You can do anything.
This was locker room talk. I'm not proud of it. I apologize to my family. I apologize to the American people. Certainly I'm not proud of it. But this is locker room talk.
Do you see what Trump did there? He offered an excuse. He made an apology. It was fucking terrible and gross, but he clearly felt the need to justify his words. But in 2025, excuses and apologies are about as important to this president as being old enough to rent a car is to Matt Gaetz. Over the last decade, Donald Trump has so bought into the mentality that he is an all-powerful autocrat who can do no wrong, and that his supporters are willful lemmings who will blindly consume his bullshit, that he doesn't even dignify them with an excuse or apology. He didn't schedule a primetime address to say, "My fellow Americans, each of us has etched doodles we regret, and sadly, today you saw mine." He didn't grab a Sharpie to show us that he was actually drawing a tiki man, but merely ran out of time. No, what he did and continues to do is to show us how far he can push things. And the Republican Party, not to mention his entire administration, are proof that the possibilities are endless. When you can get grown-ass adults who can see things with their own eyes to go on record to deny that what is definitely someone's signature is not someone's signature, you have amassed a disturbingly impressive level of power. We've gone from far-fetched excuses to a wholesale denial of reality. And by doing this, Trump isn't showing how much power he has over the Democrats, he is showing how much he owns Republicans. He's like their Coach Taylor. I mean, besides all of the great hair and the positive attributes, of course, but Trump is showing that he can take his players to places they never even thought possible. He's showing them that their going gets tough, that when it seems like all is lost, that they can dig down deep and bury their heads in the sand, bury them deeper than they ever thought possible. He's showing his players that when the facts and the truth come a-knocking, hell, they don't even have to answer the door. Donald Trump is inspiring a party and an entire administration to believe that what everybody else knows doesn't even matter. And it's why Trump ends every private meeting about the Epstein files the same way. Shielded eyes, empty hearts, can't lose. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.